Welcome to another video by the Art Code on Clean Architecture Blazor CRUD operations. This is part 2, and in our last video we added the full CRUD operations to our Clean Architecture solution using Blazor as a front-end UI, but there was a couple of problems that we came across, and it wasn't updating, and then we thought there was a problem with confirmation. So let's see if we can fix this. And what we've noticed is we're passing an ID across, but parameters need to match. So what we're going to do is there's a couple of ways you can fix this, because what we're actually looking for is a car ID, but we're passing an ID across. So one way we can fix this is what we can do is we can effectively change this. So what we've got here is we want to change this. There's one way, or you could just change it as you're passing it back as an ID. So let's change this to ID. That's going to break some of our logic here. And all we have to do is do this and do save. So if we now spin this up, let's see if we can actually get this to work as expected. So this is kind of a follow-up video to our first one, because there's a couple of bits that we thought weren't working. And I just thought, because of the length of the other video, I thought I'd cover it in a separate video. So we've got a web API up, and this is where unit testing comes in handy. Test these sorts of things, so please make sure you add your unit testing cases. So give it a second, we might put a nice node model. So let's go into edit. Let's change this to 8. Do save. It's going to come down here now. It's still not set to objects. It's still thinking it's 0, even though we've changed it to that. So this is what we need to work out. So let's just take that as that. Let's continue. Let's try and see. Object reference not set to instance of object. So what we've got up here is, do we have anything in here? Get set int ID. Okay, so let's see what we're doing. So if we go to a UI, a web API, and have a look, put has got an ID, so we are indeed passing an ID across from, you know why, I think it's only adds edit car request. Let's try changing this to as parameters. Save that, stop that, and we'll just play about, see what we can do to get it working. Because we're not doing a form post. So let's just try edit a car. Let's say 1, put that in there, and we can test this on our API if you don't want to keep doing that. Let's execute. Okay, so not, we haven't provided the rest of our, yeah, okay, so that's not provided. So let's do 2 red XX2. Let's go come down here, think about it. Okay, so it works with that way. So we've got a mismatch somewhere. So we're actually posting, because we've changed that now. Okay, true. So it's because it needs to be as of parameters. So let's just stop that. And let's go up here. We should find it will change now. So you'll have to play about with that. So sometimes use from body and sometimes use as parameters. So let's see if by doing that simple change we've actually fixed our application. Okay, so let's go back to cars. Yes, we have. So if we do edit, we call it box all mucker, do save. We come down to here, Oh. Ah, because it's not right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that does need to be, so it works on the API. So what are we missing? Edit car sync, push ID. Let's go to definition. Got car ID because we're not passing ID across, it's car ID. Ah, okay. So, and we're expecting ID. So let's have a look at this. Let's debug this. So if we go back here, just want to see what this is doing. If it's passing across car ID, ID equals car ID. Let's just do continue. Okay. Okay, let's just start that up again. Let's go web 8. Let's change our service back again to as parameters from body rather as input. Okay. Okay, so now we're looking for an ID there. So let's just save that. And let's do web API, debug, start new instance. And let's go debug. Okay, so so say BMW BMX 123, do save, and we've got an ID. Ah, so it's not doing it here. Okay, so this makes it different. So in our service, we've not got an ID of the car we're trying to update. So that makes it more meaningful. So if we go to car detail, because we're not passing our ID in, so this is why it's not working. So what we need to do is we need to stop that. And this is why you might want to use existing car as part of this. There's different ways you can do this. So if we say car equal int dot parse, there you go. So now in theory, if we run this up, this is what coding is about. It's about trying different things until you get it working. I want to cover this in a separate video because it is quite long. So this is, we've looked at this. So if we go to debug, start new instance, up there. So let's have a look. Let's do cars. Okay, so edit, BMX, 123, do save, and we should now have an ID. Oh, we still got a blank ID. Why have we still got a blank ID? So what you have to do next is you go to here. The ID is blank, but it shouldn't be. Gets the car. What we can do is if this is failing, we can say, because we've got the car with the ID, we can say binded to the object, so we can say car dot car ID. Let's just save all that, stop that. Again, it's because I had to do this at speed to cover everything off, and I think that's it when we try to do things at speed, you try to cut corners to get it working. So let's try this again, and let's do, this is why debugging is helpful, and unit testing again, because I'll try to cut a lot of this down. So let's go here. Okay, so cars, let's go edit, VMX, 1, 2, 3. Do save. Okay, so it's because this in cars detail, basically what's happening is this is in scope when it's initially loaded, but when it comes to postback, it hasn't got it. So we're actually saying, well, we've already got the car with an ID, we're passing it down into there, and off we go. So, going to pass a DTO, and it's still blank there, but we are actually getting an ID now passing back. So that's good. Ah, it's because now, yeah. Okay, we're looking for an ID, we've not got an ID now. So this is where look, it's doing this, it's just not the ID it's passing across. So if we go look back at our code, so we know within our front end UI somewhere we're not passing something back. So we're not passing. Let's just do that again. So debug. This is what it's about, people. So let's have a look. Let's do that. Let's do BMX. So it's doing everything but the ID. Okay, so we've got the ID there. Let's see if we got it on here. We have the car ID, but because it's not matching the right parameters now, it's not going to work. Okay, so we've got a mismatch. This is what's confusing. We're passing it there. So what we need to do is we need to go to our up here. I'm going to change, just stop that and change that to, they have to match. So car ID. So we'll go back to application layer, change that to that. And this is a bit of playing about basically. So let's do debug, start new instance, come down to here. We may need to rename all of them yet. Name keep them consistent. 1, 2, 3. So what we've got here is we've got our edit form there, do save. So that's definitely got an ID. And do we have, we do. Let's click do. Are you ready for this? There you go. So we now have operational CRUDs in action. So it was just a mismatch in parameters, not, this is what the problem when you try to do these sort of videos to cover so much content in such a short period of time, you have to shortcut things to explain the base concepts. So this is why I just wanted to create this short after video so we could change this one now to illustrate take your time in coding. So if I do that one, that should be 300 series. There you go, it's going through the motions, and if we do that, 300 series, there you go, it's saying navigate back to cars, do that, there you go. So you now have a full set of CRUDs, yes I do, it's going to come through here, and it's not done that, but it has taken that off. So if we do delete, Do that. Oh no, because it hasn't refreshed that. So obviously there's still a bit there we've got. So we've got a confirmation delete, but it's not passing it back up to that to do a navigation to go back or reloading it. So obviously we're not doing that. So what you could say is pass that back. But yeah, so that is kind of our full UI now working with full CRUD. It's just got a refresh problem. So can we fix that? That is the question. So Navigate Manager's going to navigate back to cars, but it's not getting that far. So it's not obviously getting back to cars. It's obviously not doing this within the embedded component. And that's where you'll need to figure out how to do this, because it's obviously not navigating back to. It's not throwing error, but it's just not doing it. And that is where you'll need to play about to get it working and see why it's not doing that. But that's just a question from the video. So we know that's our route. It's not getting out, it's getting trapped inside of the component and not escaping effectively. So I may leave that one for you guys to do, but it's just that line of code there. So it knows it's got 200, it's coming into here. It's just not getting into the navigation. So again, thank you so much for watching. We've got a bit further on the UI, but we do sort of have CRUD. We could style this up a bit more, but I just wanted to cover those bits off, that check your parameters match the same on from UI to the back end and make sure they need to match and all of that, and then it'll do the update. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and keep tuned for more exciting videos.